Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. As usual, coming into the stream, please make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. This is my second channel. We talk about anything under the sun. So definitely feel free to come in here with any comments that I have not seen on the main channel. And definitely subscribe, ring the notification bell to know whenever these videos, live streams, along with short videos begin. And always smash the like button to support the channel. Okay, so earlier on my main channel, I talked about Elon Musk and did a vote on whether you guys thought that the whole Sweeney suspension made sense, yes or no. Obviously, I agree that it does make sense because I think nobody's privacy, whether you like the person or not, even if it's some political figure that you hate, I don't think it's right to be tracking anybody and putting their safety in danger. But I'm seeing this video now. It says this is 5 hours ago. Elon was like, last night, car carrying little X in LA was followed by a crazy stalker, bracket, thinking it was me, who later blocked car from moving and climbed onto hood. So creepy. Legal action is being taken against Sweeney, which is the account, I guess, that was tracking and posting Elon's whereabouts, and organizations who supported harm to my family. But I'm confused because I thought Sweeney only posted like the private jet stuff. I don't know if this means that little X was on a private jet and then was carried by someone else to a car. Either way, I don't think anybody should be tracked. So this is very sad. And then he posted 2 hours ago, anyone recognize this person or car? And it shows the license plate. It's over 2.6 million views, I guess, of what happened on the day of. I mean, I'm so glad that I guess Elon Musk wasn't there. But either way, it's like, what did the person want? Was it just to talk to Elon? Was it just like an interview, just for some like screen time? I don't understand. Or maybe it was something worse. Either way, so terrible. And I feel like if this is any lesson, his entire family, himself included, should definitely get more security. I think it just comes with like that position. Like if you're a media public figure and also that wealthy and also dealing with a lot of controversial things right now, probably best. More security, the better. Hold on, let me watch this from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotcha. I love it. The guy, I guess that, so I think it's one of Elon's people that was with baby little X and then was recording this person who's clearly trying to hide themselves-ish. Not good enough. Not wearing sunglasses. I think you can still identify someone with just their eyes. I mean, you could open an iPhone with just your eyes. So that person is then recording, probably afraid that something is going to happen to them.
What's your name?
Well, he's got the license plate.
Yeah, for sure. Gotcha. What's your name?
Oh, who said what's your name? I think it was the person who's being recorded and the Hyundai asking like what's the name of the person recording that probably works for Elon. I don't know. That's just my interpretation of it. Little confusing. Someone's like, whoa, is this the guy that jumped in the hood? And Elon's like, yeah. Hold on. Memes of extra security. Add to cart. Definitely needs extra security. Lucy, can you recommend, should I date someone older or younger than me? I am 31, raw food writer. Let's let everybody decide. Any of you guys that are reading raw food writers comments, feel free to have your input. I mean, we're a fam over here. But for me, since you asked me, should I date someone older or younger? Guys, honestly, I think I've said it before. I mean, I literally say this online and in real life. Age is just a number, baby. I know that that's actually not true because our society in 2022, clearly most countries have very defined laws as to what you can do at certain ages. by yourself or with others. So it is just a number still, in my opinion, but it's also not. You have to go by the legal boundaries unless you want to go to jail. Um, yeah, I would say legally go for what you can go for. And age is just a number, not relationship or financial or legal advice, though. I really do think that because I know this for a fact that I've met people who are in their early 20s and wiser than people at 65 that I've spoken to. Yeah. And there are, of course, still many 65-year-olds that are way wiser than any 20-something-year-olds. So it just comes down to actually knowing someone, experiencing enough situations to make your decision on how wise you think that person is. And I think a few dates you probably won't know because it's kind of easy nowadays for people to make you see things that they want you to see. So I think it really, you have to put in a lot of effort to see more, unless you're just lucky and you guys get into some kind of wild situation that nobody could ever plan for. Um, yeah, I just think it doesn't really matter. As long as you're happy with the person, you're happy. I do think that age does matter in the sense where, like, let's say you can't even get along with any friends that happen to be like much, much older or much, much younger. And you already have this like stereotype, let's say, or you just naturally feel like you're happier with people who are born in the same year as you or within like a 1 to 2, 3 year range of the same year as you, because you just feel like anyone else you talk to is like talking to a dinosaur or talking to a tadpole. I don't know. Like if you already resonate with those ideals, then you're not going to open yourself up to anybody at a certain age, younger or older. So you know what you want, just go for it. Don't feel like, don't give in to the judgments of the world, I would say. I have never dated anybody younger, like a lot younger than me. I have dated someone who's much older than me. And I know that age makes a difference, as in more like what you have in common. So I personally prefer within the 10-year range. Yes, within the 10-year range. Maybe even like, yeah, a little under 10 years. But I have seen relationships work out fine with a 20-year difference. It all just comes down to those two individuals. Uh, If I was Elon, I'd have security around 2,000 meters from me. If I was Elon, and I wish he would be a part of my live stream so I can tell him this, I would have like a literal, I don't know if regular civilians are able to order like snipers, or not like snipers, with like any weapons, but like eagle eye is what it's called. Like I would want someone who's has like this aerial view of me at all times. Like if I was Elon Musk, which I'm not, so I don't need this stuff, but I would want someone with like an aerial view up top to snipe out or find anybody who's at a higher level looking to snipe me. I would have people checking the ground. I probably go way too intense. I would be broke just trying to protect myself. Um, Lower level. So let's say maybe I'm thinking more like Batman. I forget which one. Definitely a Christian Bale one, but I forget which one this was. The one where they like set off all the bombs like on the ground with the cement and stuff. Yeah, I would probably have someone check underneath. I would have people test my drinks, my food, everything before I eat it. Um, Nobody would get close to me, so they wouldn't be able to kill me with like a sweep of some type of deadly virus of some sort. I would just be very intense. I'd probably create some type of like a bubble around me. I'll just be the bubble girl. But I am, wait, hold on. Sorry, guys. Thank you all for smashing the like button. Thank you, Alan, for being first. Ciga and vape bans would lead to a healthier society, but the Fed will never allow it. Oh yeah, let me read that because I was quite shocked to see this. You don't hear much about cigarette bans anymore. There's always like these other bans, but you don't really hear much on cigarettes, which is ridiculous because out of all the things that people ban and like all the news that I hear, it always makes me think back to like cigarettes. I'm like, how is this okay? And then like ABCDEFG is not okay. Clearly I don't smoke cigarettes. I do know people who do. Again, I don't hate you for smoking cigarettes. I just prefer not to. And out of all of the things that are legal or illegal out there, it just still blows my mind that cigarettes is just like such a norm. It's like it's completely okay when you're doing it outside. Okay. By 2050, 40-year-olds in New Zealand will be, this is reported by BBC News, by the way. By the year 2050, 40-year-olds in New Zealand will be too young to buy cigarettes. That's due to legislation passed in the country on Tuesday, which means anyone born after 2008 will never be able to buy cigarettes or tobacco-based products. It will mean the number of people able to buy tobacco will shrink each year, with a generation of people banned in New Zealand by 2050. Wait, what? So if you're born after 2008, you are not allowed. So wait, 2022, 2008. So if you would be 14. Wait, is that right? Yeah, you'd be 14 years old right now if you were born. Well, you could be. You could be younger than 14 right now if you're born after 2008. How does that make sense? Why didn't they go higher? I don't know what the age you're allowed to buy cigarettes in New Zealand. Do your own DD. But 14 years? You're only like, well, it makes sense that you wouldn't be allowed. But I would just think, wouldn't it make more sense to move it up to like 2000, 2005, 2004? I don't know. This is interesting. But that's different. That's not like, I guess, making people quit cold turkey, which I think would cause an uproar. It's just kind of like the older people can do it. It's like if you're already hooked. At least, I don't know. When I read that news, to me, I'm just reading it like, okay, so I guess they're thinking if you're older and you're already addicted, then you're just you could keep going on. But if you're younger, you don't get to. I don't know if they'll actually keep it like that. We'll see. But and I think anybody who's like crazy addicted or really wants to will just move to the US or something, or Canada, where you are able to buy cigarettes at a certain age. I just don't see the point. I know I'm bashing it, but even the people that I've spoken to, like nearly every single person that I've spoken to about cigarettes, I'm like, what is so good about this? I don't understand. And yes, I have tried it. Most people honestly just tell me that they're just addicted. It's just, there's really no joy in it. They know there's no joy in it. It's not like a cookie or even Coca-Cola, to be honest. I literally have joy from drinking Coca-Cola. I know it's not really good for me though. Hey Lucy, Mike Jen on that vape shit. Idiots think it's safe, Jill says. Yeah, more talk on vapes though than there are on bans for cigarettes. A part of me just feels like maybe we're not going to see a ban on it anytime soon because it makes a lot of money. Mandy Rose got fired from WWE because of her fan time account. Fan time account? What is that? I know a 19-year-old that doesn't party. He just works and puts in the market. Oh, like trading? Nice. He's not even trying to date because he wants to be retired before 25. Awesome. 19 to 25. So 6 years. So this person's giving themselves 6 years to like really make it. I love it. I wish I thought of that when I was 19. I hope the hard work pays off. But the thing with markets is like you don't know. Can only have so much control in the markets, but I guess this is not a bad time to start. This is a pretty crazy bear market. And I guess better to start investing in a bear market first, buying stocks, than it is in a bull market. Like what I did, most of us. How old was the guy you dated? Did your parents mind? Rafu Writer says. And I'm not going to tell you how old. But yeah, my family was not too happy with me. And I think that's generally like what happens when someone in the family chooses to date someone who is much, much older. They were not happy. I tried to let it go for my family, but it was just really a thought that crossed my mind, and I didn't do it for my family. I feel like it's not possible for me to drop a relationship when the person didn't harm my family in any way, just due to age. It's just that doesn't sound right to me. Um, but I did end the relationship in the end for my personal reasons. I hardly watched her show, but do you remember him? Henry says. A new type of OF. Oh, what? Oh my God, I'm so behind. I don't even know how OF works. And here we are with fan time. So is fan time just like OF where people can post whatever they want? You just have to be like that person's fan and be subscribed and be paying money. Um, how many languages do you speak? Harrison says. Honestly, can't remember right now. More than 3. Okay, I'm gonna go soon because it's late, but I just want to talk about this because this was so shocking to me. I didn't even know his name, to be honest. I know his face, and I've watched Ellen DeGeneres. I haven't watched her in a long time. So I've heard during the pandemic that the show was off, and then I think it was on for a bit. I don't even know if it's canceled and if it's not around anymore, but I've watched Ellen before. I've actually would have died to go on one of her shows and win a gift or something. Never been on it. I just remember, and now I know his name's tWitch with a capital W. I don't really know the story behind that, but it's kind of like, when you know people or like maybe someone from middle school or elementary or high school and you know them, like you know their energy, you know what they look like, but you don't necessarily remember their full name. It's kind of like that. I always known of him because I've seen him on TV and like the energy. So like even though I didn't memorize, honestly, his name was Twitch until today, seeing him on the news. Um, may he rest in peace. It was just this is like one of those really shocking moments. Yeah, that like I really didn't expect. Because every time I would see him on Ellen, it's always so happy. Like he's just one of those people that I mean, he's an entertainer, but not all entertainers can bring it, in my opinion, can bring that energy where like right like when they dance or when they speak, you just it's like a bright light shining. I just feel like he has such good energy and he's so positive and brings so much happiness just through the screen, which is honestly very hard. I don't feel that about every single entertainer. And that includes like influencers, TikTokers, YouTubers. Not everybody brings the joy. So it's just like when I saw that he passed away and it's due to, again, I think I'm seeing on the news that people are saying, rest in peace. This is why mental health is important. So I think it is due to suicide. It's just like mind boggling. I just can't wrap my head around it. And I know, like, okay, people say it's always the ones that you don't like picture or you don't know that they're going to do that. So it does usually come as a shock. Um, but it's just so sad. I just wonder why. I mean, not why specifically him, but this stuff is very sad, obviously. I've talked about it more than once on here. And I just don't know if as we advance with technology, I wonder if mental health is it getting worse because of technology or are we just like this? And whether we have more tech or we don't have more tech, it doesn't make a difference because humans will always take that path. I mean, that's like also data that I don't think most of us have, right? It's like how common was suicide versus now, 2022, as it was 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago. We probably don't even have that data back then. So I'm very curious if it's really getting worse. And then if it is getting worse, I also wonder why, because I'm just thinking back to like 20 years ago. I don't think that TikTok was a thing and Reels, YouTube Shorts, and this many people on the internet, this many people using YouTube, this many people expressing themselves online. Um, and I think, like, even from now to like 20 years ago, people are feeling more comfortable to talk about their mental health issues, unhappiness. Like, there's literally celebrities, influencers that will record themselves crying or share pictures of their tears and black mascara. That is something that wasn't really normal or constantly shared 10, 20 years, I'm assuming 30, 40, 50 years. Like, I don't think Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn was like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. Let's talk about it, like live TV. So it's weird to me that it's almost like we have more of these opportunities to bring up our unhappiness and talk about it. But I wonder if it's actually helping. If I had to pick between should we talk about it or should we not talk about it, 100% I'm for the talk about it because I think communication is key for relationships. Communication is key for resolving things, even within yourself. I believe in like communication with others and also just like communication with yourself. So like writing in your journal about something that doesn't make you happy. Really like think about things that make you unhappy and like kind of resolve it for yourself. Um, so I'm for sure like for the communication, but I guess you also have to be careful like how you carry on the conversation so that people are comfortable. I mean, I hope you guys are comfortable right now. Fanfleet blew up when OF said they ban okay. I'll grow my own tomatoes. F 'em. Alan says, wait, what? Um, Raw food writer, you're just like guessing random numbers. I can't confirm nor deny. That was a big problem. People being poisoned in the Middle Ages. They had people to test food first. Okay, the Middle Ages though, I heard it in the Middle Ages, and I think I learned this from a PewDiePie video I watched. People in the Middle Ages and people from like over 100, 200 years ago apparently died from like pears, like the fruit, Pears. Like there were poisonous fruits out there, just like, I don't know, fell off a tree and somebody ate it and died. So I don't know. I think back then things were just more dangerous, period. um, but yeah, I don't know where people got their hands on all this poison back then. People are crazy. My goal is 6 figures by the time I grad or age 23, whichever comes first, Church and Chili says. Nice. That's a very lovely goal. I hope you reach it. Kamasi says, yep, Mandy Muse. Wait, hello. I hardly watch her show, but do you remember him? Oh, you mean Ellen DeGeneres? Yes. Again, I didn't know his name or like memorize it by heart. It's just like I remember him as a light and energy, like great dancer. Not his exact name. So it's just crazy too because like I read that he has like 3 kids, I think 3 kids and a wife, and I think it's the wife who like ran to the police station. There's no details I don't think that I've read so far on like how it happened, like what exactly he did. But I don't think there's any because I was thinking to myself like obviously the family seemed shocked or the wife seemed shocked. I just don't know if there's any better way to go about it. Obviously, in Europe, there are places you can pay for. I don't remember exactly which country, but there are places you can pay to go to the place that you seek. And I don't know if that would have been better, or that's just something like most people probably want to avoid that topic, and then it becomes a surprise to the family. Just either way, just bad. But I feel like I if someone had to do it, like if I'm trying to put myself in this person's shoes, if I really wanted to do something that I know would hurt people around me, is it better to shock them and not let anyone know and then they find out? Or is it better to just tell them, like, this is a date, this is a time, I don't care what you say, it's happening? I think I prefer the latter, like, at least giving people a chance to know it's happening, like being prepared, final goodbyes. But then I also understand maybe why people want to avoid the latter, just because you're probably going to get a bunch of people who are very pissed off, and think you're crazy for wanting to end it all. The whole Ellen uproar was a surprise. He said he was happy to be with his fam. Children Chile says, wait, what? He said he was happy to be with his fam. I mean, that I don't blame anybody who chooses the path he chose, and then they say things in the media, because I feel like how are you going to look at people that are good to you and love you, or just you don't want to disappoint people around you? So I totally understand why it does show as a surprise when it does happen. Just trying to picture it. Yeah. And it's very sad, because it just goes to show nobody knows um who it could be, right? I definitely didn't see this one coming. No one knows who would make decisions like that, and there's nothing I think we can do except it's, I guess, constantly said. um People are probably tired of hearing it and feel like it doesn't work, which is just always communicate, always try to be kind to those around you, which I think is easier said than done, because everybody has bad days. And sometimes I feel like it's just like energy, like if you have bad energy, like if I'm having a bad day, I think like it'll just be on my face. Like I'll just look pissed. And then I'll walk around everywhere sending off my pissed off energy. If I'm happy, I'll just be smiling and I'll be sending off like the better energy. Um, but yeah, it's hard to be happy every second and just send off that good energy every single second of the day. But clearly a lot more folks need the good energy. And then also I think it's just gets more complicated than that. It's like regardless of your exterior, like how good people are to you, mental health is something that it's almost like a billion people could be telling you good things, but you could still feel completely and entirely unhappy just by yourself. And even so, I think it's okay. Like I personally think that it's okay to feel like negative sometimes. Sometimes, keyword, not every second. Because I still think it's a gift to just kind of be alive. I'm more of like, whenever I get depressed or sad, I just think about, like, yes, I can end it all, or I could be an observer, and I just choose to observe. Like, I just basically tell myself, like, when I'm unhappy, it's because I'm trying to, let's say, be a part of a show, be a part of a circus. I'm trying to do all the acrobatic moves. And when I'm unhappy, it's like I feel like I'm not putting on a good enough show, or like I can't make it as one of the acrobats. So then I just tell myself, well, instead of leaving the show, I could just then convert myself into an observer, the audience, and just watch other people who are putting on a show and see what happens. And then you can always get back into the show. I don't know if any of this makes sense to you guys, but basically that is what I do. I like to shift my perspectives when I feel like the world is too much, or I find myself being too stressed out or unhappy with whatever it is, A, B, C, D, E, F, G that I'm trying to do. I don't have to do any of it. And sometimes when I feel like I don't want to do any of it, I'll just take a step back and I'll just be an observer. Like I'm just traveling and I'm just watching, not like watching Netflix. You could do that too. Some people just literally watch TV shows every single day and they just live their lives like that and they're happy. They're just excited for the next show, the next ballet, the next opera, the next movie, Avatar, whatever. Um, but that's not what I mean. I mean, like, let's say you're trying to be a doctor. Okay, you can't get past your MCAT? MCAT. LSAT's MCAT. Okay. You can't get past your MCAT. Um, you just try and try again, but you continue to fail, or you can't pass the boards, and you just will never become a doctor. I don't know, and that makes you upset. But what if you decide to be a researcher instead? So you're not actually like performing surgery on somebody, but you are working to advance medicine, so then you can save lives in another way. So that's like figuring out another way to do the ultimate thing that you want to do, which is save lives. Or there's another way you could go about it where you don't become a researcher, don't become a doctor. Maybe you just watch. You see where the world leads your period of time on this planet, and you're an observer. You can, because I'm assuming if somebody wants to be a doctor, they're at least interested in medicine. You could at least watch and see how medicine advances. Um, Maybe your peers who you met in school, where they're headed. And I think that's boring. I think eventually being an observer, you'll get bored and you'll either figure out another category to move to, or you get back trying. But so many different routes. Lucy, I get unhappy end today, and this month was really bad for me on so many levels. I'm sorry to hear that, goals. And just please know, all of you guys, I know people say this all the time, and it may seem insincere because everyone says it all the time. But trust me, you are so not alone in feeling many levels of unhappiness. I'm literally like 50 shades of unhappy. But I also have my happy moments. And it doesn't always show. Like, I'll have live streams where I talk about this stuff. And then we have live streams where we just talk about happy things. And you'll see what you see on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, because usually it's whatever's trending, whatever the algorithm pays more for. That's what people will do. So you're not necessarily going to see every facet of a human being's life. It's usually just whatever monetizes more, or mostly what's trending. Just know that it's impossible for you. It's just like, out of the, what, 8 billion people? Okay, 8 billion people. Out of the 8 billion people out there, it is absolutely impossible for, okay, this is also how I see it. Everybody wants to be special, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you're rich like Elon Musk. I'm sure he wants to be special too. Everybody wants to be special, feel like they lived a good life, did it well. Everyone wants to be special. But the truth is, there's 8 billion people. Not everyone is going to be that special. Okay, you can't all be special. I'm sorry, you just can't. You can be the most special thing to your mom and dad, but you're not the most special. So in a sense, we're all kind of basic. So if we're all basic, our thought process, like if you think you invented something today, or like a new drink or a new candy flavor, it's probably not that original. There's probably someone else out there who did the same thing, right? Like, imagine how hard it is to create a patent, to create something new and be like, you're the first person with that idea, right? I'm pretty sure there's probably a bunch of people with like an Uber idea, way before Uber even happened. So if we can agree on the fact that we're, like, in a sense, not all that special as we'd like to think we are, then every negative thought we have, I personally like to think, is also extremely unspecial, which means other people feel the same thing all the time. Insecurity, for sure, there on every single person that you meet. I can guarantee you there's some form of insecurity. The unhappiness is for sure there because we're all just clueless and moving on this giant rock. Check them out, Raw Food. Alan says, I've seen way too many people die in my life. I don't want to be one of them, Alan says. And I don't want to see you gone either. Never be a supporting character in your life. Always be the wait, you mean the main character, right? Yes, got your. Always be the main character of your life. But I've watched you since the beginning of your channels, and just having the time to get out of my zone listening to you talk about anything just kind of works for me. Oh, thank you, goals. I'm glad that my channel helps, and just know, like, yeah, whatever it is that you're feeling. Like, we all have different upbringings. We all have very different lives and different difficulties. Uh, you're just not ever going to be, no one's going to be alone on feeling alone or feeling unhappy. And I think it's good that you guys talk about it either here or wherever you feel safe. And we all know that there are people who just don't feel comfortable sharing that stuff at all. And that's why we have to be extra kind to everyone, so long as you can bring it in yourself to do it. Because I know I'm still trying to work on that. I'm not nice every second to every single person. I have my very moody days. I'd rather live to see age tomorrow, Henry says, but if he suffered from depression, that's something most of us don't understand, Henry says. Yes. And there's different levels to it. I feel like when people are diagnosed with depression, it's kind of like when you're happy. Some people are happy and they like want to dance on a table happy. And then there's happy where they're not even smiling, but they're like smiling on the inside. There's definitely, I believe, different levels to everything. There are people who are depressed that can't understand other people who are depressed. And there are people who are happy that don't understand the level of happiness that someone else is in. So it's like, we are all the same, but we may not experience all the different intensities of these things. So I'm sure it's not an easy decision for anybody to, especially someone like, again, I don't know him personally, so this is just from the exterior. It just seems like on paper, Twitch had such a pleasant life. Like, when I say pleasant, I mean like compared to the rest of the 8 billion people in the world, right? He had the fame, had a family, children, lots of things that people want. I don't know how much money he had, but I'm assuming since he was on the Ellen show for a very long time, probably more access to money than most of us, and more connections. So looking at what he has on paper, I find that very, very lucky, to say the least. But again, just because someone thinks that you have it all or you are very lucky, it doesn't mean that you have to be happy because they think you should be happy. It's not how it works. I love him. And Dizzle says Hot Mulligan is a good band. I don't know them. I'd rather to see it tomorrow, but he suffered. I'm just happy and amazed to be alive, J.E. says. I like that and can't imagine giving up the time I have left. All emotions, good and bad, I feel are a gift, J.E. says. Yes, I agree with that. That's a good way to put it. All emotions, good and bad, as long as you're alive. But it is very hard to be thankful for the bad emotions, but we all have them. Almost Juicy Draft, welcome. Well, at least you're here for this one. Yes, almost daily live streams. I mean, I will be more daily later on, still on vacation. Anyways, guys, there will be more videos coming out, vlogs, travel vlogs, short videos. I'm gonna go. Take care. I'm sorry for people who didn't want to talk about this stuff that had to listen to this, because I think it's okay that we choose to watch and listen to things that we want to listen to. And if not listening to this type of stuff works for you, then you do you. But for anybody that does need to talk, I try to respond to most of my comments. And just feel free to make a fake account and ask whatever you want on this channel. Hopefully, if I can see it, I will try to respond to it. And yeah, see you guys soon. Bye, chill. Take care. Henry, all of you guys. Thanks, my mods. Bye.